Alright, and we are live. Screen is being recorded. We have excellent connection. Perfect. Alright, so here we are on ES. I'm only going to be trading ES today. Open up Discord. Good morning, Ryan. So quickly, what I want to see for this New York session, or let's say prior to the market open, if we manage to get above the new week opening gap, hold support on that midnight level, we have the 50% of the new week opening gap perfectly matching up with midnight right here. Same level, so I can actually drag this up. New York midnight, 50% of the new week opening gap. And we see, just as expected, from 8 AM we get this push above. So I want to see if we can... Have we got audio? Yeah. Yes, there should be audio. Live stream starting now. Let everyone know we're streaming. Okay, perfect. Alright. So, what I want to see is a close above this area right here, a retest for the continuation. That's the trade that I would like to take here on ES. We had the strong Asian range right here. I can draw that in. So let's say from 8 AM when the market opens, 9:55, the Asian range, bam, all the way down till here. This is our Asia box. So we saw that Asia had a very strong move this today. Open with a new day opening gap. We left that unfilled so far, which leads me to believe that we could look for higher prices during New York. We had this sell-off continuation during London. So starting from midnight, basically, midnight, right here, midnight open, we went sideways inside the new week opening gap. 1 AM comes in. Now 1 AM also consolidates, and then with that new hourly candle, 2 AM, we took Asia sell side and the PM session sell side. And then with 2:30, before the London Open, we continued to go lower to clear even more sell side. So we repriced into deep discounts, swept most of the sell side liquidity, kept holding on this order block, paired with this little fair value gap. I can draw this in as well. Already kept holding support yesterday. That's where I got my long entry from. And today it also kept holding support, so I'm definitely going to leave that on the chart. We have our Asian range right here. We have our new day opening gap. We already swept this buy side yesterday. We have buy side above here and here. So this would be, let me quickly adjust that. Here we have previous day's high buy side. Here we have a PM session buy side, and this would be Friday's high. We will see if it looks like we're gonna go higher. I think these could be high probability targets. So let's see. We closed at the high of the new week opening gap and already retraced. Keep holding support. Let's see if we cross. Get rid of the alert here. We should. Remember, we have that midnight level paired with the 50% of that new week opening gap. Right here. New week opening gap from Monday. And now we should be getting this push. Yep, we swept buy side. Right here, we cleared this high. Swept a short-term low. Right here, had a bullish market structure shift. Right here, repriced into a discount, kept holding support on the VWAP. This little fair value gap kept holding support. So now I want to see if we cannot, chase this move. So if we go to the next 15-minute candle is going to close in 6 minutes. We have an order block right here. So yeah, this is all playing out nicely, so I want to see this area to hold support for a continuation higher. I look for 5 points, not much. So if I would use my risk to reward tool, and I'd say I want to get in at the 50%, a 5-handle stop would put me below this low, which would be my stop loss. Ideally, I would wait for a fair value gap here on the 5-minute time frame. And for potential targets, we can also map out bearish fair value gaps to the upside. So right here, then pretty much this entire range is one 15-minute fair value gap. But for now, I'm only going to be drawing in the 5-minute ones. Nah, screw it. We do it when we get there. For now, those 2 ones are the most important ones. So we closed, but we didn't close above. So let's see, we left behind a new... look at this. Another inversion fair value gap. Here, this little order block, we close above, we retest it, and continue into buy side. Right at 8:05 a.m. New York local time. Now we have this inversion fair value gap paired with this bullish fair value gap right here. So let's see. Let me open up the chat. Good morning, evening, afternoon, night, FL trader. Should be morning for you. Early morning, likely. Let me... We're gonna go to this account. No, we already secured profits on this one, so I'm gonna use this one today for the New York session. I want to see a proper, like, I want to see this as support. Right now it's not super high confidence that we're already going to hold from this level. We could also sweep one more time to continue higher. We have a unfilled inversion fair value gap paired with a bullish fair value gap down here. So we're just going to be patient. We do not have 8:30 news. We have news at 10 a.m. right here. So let's see what we can work with today. So we close above the NWOC, new week opening gap. I'm interested if we can hold support now, paired with that midnight level. We have a unfilled fair value gap down here. A 5-handle stop out. For 5 handles. Now let's see how this candle is going to form. 15-minute time frame. Yeah, let's wait for that next 5-minute candle. If we manage to close above, then we also have 15-minute time frame confirmation paired with a little order block, because we don't want this to end up as a sweep. Because if we look at today's range, premium discount from high to low, we see that we are in discounts now for shorts, which could be an opportunity to like go up and then continue lower. Yeah, we will see. Not trying to predict, we're gonna wait for an opportunity, and if it arises or if it comes around, we're gonna execute on it. So 1.5 minutes for this 5-minute candle to close. Check out the hourly. We have a hourly bearish fair value gap up here as well, a huge one. We haven't filled that yet. This is a Asia fair value gap. Usually you see these during New York or during like London, but this is an Asian fair value gap. We had a strong sell-off yesterday And 30 minutes. Looking good. 15 minutes, let's wait for this close. 1 more minute to go. Can 15 close above midnight? My midnight level is drawn correctly. Yep, open right here. Ten seconds to go. Do we close above this bearish candle? No volume imbalance. We go sideways, inside bar. We close below midnight. We close below the 50% of the new week opening gap. We're still inside, so for time being, I don't think I want to participate just yet. Our entry would have been hit, but I don't think it's... maybe at the low of the new week opening gap paired with this inversion. We tried. Quick to exit if we see invalidation. We see the close below this bullish fair value gap, and we see, yeah, just overall weakness after we've swept liquidity here. Then I will exit the position at a small loss. So this is not a fixed stop loss. My fixed stop loss would go below this level. What's the time? It's 8:15, new 15-minute candle. Maybe that next 15-minute candle is going to make that push. Let's see if we get tapped in. We could also spend some time consolidating here until the New York Open. As a visual reminder, the New York Open will be right here, and then we have 10 a.m. news right here. Check out the lower time frames. Immediate bearish engulfing. Didn't close above on the 3-minute. Let's check the 2-minute. Gap down. 1 minute. Also a 1-minute bullish fair value gap. Swept sell. So yeah, let's see. We have sell side below all these lows. And this one, of course. Why is my trading view so laggy? Not smooth at all. Alright, let's see. Maybe price is moving without giving us the nice entry opportunity at the new NBOC low. Yep, looks like it. Initially we had our entry here, but I wanted to get a little bit better of an entry and actually fill this fair value gap. But it's starting to look like we're not going to do that. Did you guys take any trades during Asia, London so far today? Feel free to share. Be interesting to talk about it. I took a long during London from the 15-minute inversion fair value gap. So if I go to the 15, Right here, we saw the strong close after having swept sell side rejection from the order block. And then right here, we had this 15-minute fair value gap. I placed my limit order right here, and I secured at the New York midnight level. And it just ticked it, and then we had a retracement. So I was glad I, already took profits. With the trailing drawdown and all that stuff, it's better to let it sit a little bit or take profits instead of, letting a trade play out over the entire trading day. So let's see. Missed it. Fuck. Not missed it, but I mean, I would have expected, especially after this down closing candle, at least one tick inside of the fair value gap. But I guess that didn't have to happen. Sometimes I just want perfect entries. So now we open again with a bearish gap to the downside. But we can see for the first time now we closed above this high. Go back to the 15. We have 9 minutes left on that time frame. We closed back above midnight. Try get in from midnight. Check out NQ here quickly. NQ already also is above this high as well. Looks like a head and shoulder setup to me. We have to weave up above, but yeah, let's not look at that too much. Alright, let's find out. Looks like we're gonna get filled. And now I know it's already going to reply. It touched our entry. Let's see. Yeah, we're filled. Perfect. With a little bit of delay. Let's see if this midnight level can hold support. The invalidation still comes. If we now get a bearish candle closing below this fair value gap, I'm gonna be out of the trade. I'm not gonna hold it until I get stopped out. I call this active risk management. Alright, so we're back below midnight. Check the lower time frames here quickly. Equal lows. Looking good. We just look for 5 handles. Let's see if anything else. Maybe even less. We will see how price is going to move. If I hit my 5 handle target, that's going to be it for this account for today. 250 bucks on a 50k account. Don't really need more than that prior to the New York Open. So let's wait and see how this candle is going to close. With that next 5-minute candle, we get a new 15-minute candle close. And ideally for this trade to continue to play out, I would like to see the close above midnight and above the new week opening gap. And ideally also above this buy side. If we get another rejection wick on the 15-minute time frame, not be ideal for this little long idea. Let's see, now we would have gotten our fill right here in this fair value gap. I want to see it being respected. If we don't, I'm out of the trade with small loss. Check the 15 here quickly. Alright, so now we filled lower time frame fair value gaps. 3 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute. 30 seconds to go. Are we going to close below? I'm ready to exit in case we do. Invalidate bullish order flow. It's a out for me. Close back below midnight after a bullish close above it. Bullish engulfing. Not really what I'm looking for. Let's see. Alright, so we still close inside of it. I'm gonna be fine if I get stopped out down here then, in this case. Let's watch for this 15-minute candle. Wicks to the upside, that doesn't look good. 5 minutes to go on this 15-minute candle. Check out what NQ is doing over here. NQ made a higher high right here, so we have SMT divergence. If we start to close below this low, we could even look at a bearish market structure shift to maybe hunt some internal liquidity. Nothing on the 15 to support price here other than this little order block, but yeah, be patient. Entry, of course, not ideal from that midnight level. I really wanted to see it hold support. Our initial entry was based down here. This would have been a much better entry, but I didn't expect another bearish engulfing candle after that, and that's okay. That's what I expected. That's why I took this trade. As long as we hold this area, I'm going to stay in a trade. If we get this 5-minute close below here, I'm out of the trade, or I'm stopped out for 5 handles, which is also okay. One and a half minutes to go. Pretty bearish. We tested the VWAP. So if we close below these levels, I'm going to close the position below the inversion plus bullish fair value gap right here. 1 minute to go. New 15-minute candle close at the same time right here. Did manage to go back above midnight. That was my trade idea, that the next 15-minute candle is going to close above it. That's not happening, so I'm happy to accept this loss. Let's see, 30 seconds to go. These 30 seconds are going to decide the close of the 15 and 5-minute time frame. It's 8:25, so the next candle is going to be the 8:30 candle. Usually a injection of liquidity. So let's see how that plays out. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to close. Got out of the position because we closed below this area where I wanted to see support from. And now I would have been stopped out anyway. So good call on cutting my risk early. So let's see. Potential for a bearish market structure shift, but I don't think I will take another trade before market open. So now we're inside this bullish fair value gap, which is also paired with a inversion. Why do we have 3 in here now? Bullish fair value gap. But it looks like it's going to hunt internal sell side. Check out in Q. Looking like it's doing that same thing. New 15-minute candle close. We immediately continue lower after rejecting 1, 2, 3 times from the new week opening gap, midnight level. We swept the buy side with this candle right here at 8 a.m. Yeah, that's how they delivered. So 1 hour chart, let's look at that. We did not touch the 1 hour bearish fair value gap. Previous hour was also a doji candle. So let's go back to the 5. This would be our market structure shift level. And that would deliver us into internal sell side liquidity. We also have this old fair value gap right here. Let's see. Maybe we can play the short. High, low, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. So this area would actually become our breaker block on the 5-minute time frame. Right here. Breaker block. Yeah, we will see. I'm also playing it cool. Go back for internal, maybe even sweep this low. I mean, everything's been inside so far today. Already made profit during London on one account. The other one, I just took a loss of $150, which is fine. I knew the risk and I wanted to see a little bit of a push, but yeah, we didn't get that. And we're strongly selling off. If we sweep this internal liquidity, I won't consider taking a short trade. But like said, 8:30 candle, injection of liquidity. That's why this is a relatively big candle, one-sided, no wick to the upside, closed, and it just continued falling. No reason to hold on to a losing trade. That's obviously going against you. Take a quick peek at NQ. Doing the same thing. We have SMT divergence. No, we do not. So let's see, we closed inside the bullish fair value gap right here, but we open with a bearish volume imbalance. Check out the 15-minute time frame. I think it's obviously going to go for the internal, but I'm not jumping into a trade right here. It doesn't make sense. This would be an aggressive entry, volume imbalance entry, but target-wise, it's not even 5 handles into that sell side. Could play out, but it's not my type. If we would have maybe closed below this bullish fair value gap as an additional confirmation, yes, potentially something we could have taken. We have our bearish market structure shift right here. Let's see, we would treat this as our fake out move. Two standard deviation, 3 standard deviations would deliver into yesterday's low. Breaker block paired with a bearish fair value gap. Let's see, I don't think price will really come back all this way for a potential entry before it takes that internal sell side, but this would be my current idea. I'm going to be watching it. If I see price pushing back up, I might add a limit order, but otherwise I think I'm going to wait until 9:30. Remember, we also have news at 10 a.m. paired with a new 4-hour candle, so we can expect some volatility there. And at 9 a.m. I checked, but Forex Factory only told me 10 a.m. because I filtered for high impact news, medium impact news. What do we have? S&P CS Composite, medium impact. We will see. Yeah, 9 a.m. I saw that too now. But it's medium impact. I only really look at high impact news. We have consumer confidence at 10. Let's see, now we have equal lows. Most people that went long on this price leg, they're gonna have their stops below each specific low. Let's see if we clear them already on this candle. I think that's also gonna be a no. We still have 5 more minutes on the 15. So we swept this low already. $8.35. Be patient. There's nothing really good forming up. We could go for internal to continue back up. We could just simply could be going for that London sell side down here. London session low. If we look at the entire daily range, we already said that. That's why it was riskier to take the long where I took it. But we can see that so far today's range from the let me opening happened right here. This is today's range, and we can see that the 50% of today's range equilibrium is pretty much aligning very well with midnight and the new week opening gap. So we went into a discount, cleared buy side liquidity in a discount, and we immediately rechecked to go back into a premium to the lower half of today's range, basically. The Asian and London, early London session, so everything prior, post the London Open here at 3 AM has pretty much been bullish. So a reprice into discounts to maybe continue lower. I don't know, we're in between order blocks, everything's inside. My entry came in a discount. Yeah, let's see. 5 more minutes to go. So we already closed below this bullish fair value gap. This would have been my last level of defense for bulls right here before we sweep sell side. And of course we also have this bigger 5-minute bullish fair value gap right here. Gotta keep an eye on that too. I think you didn't sweep this low just yet. Let's wait for this 15-minute candle, but I don't think that I will be watching price action without participating until 10 AM. I'm gonna leave the stream running, but yeah, I don't think I will participate anymore. I took a small loss, that's fine. But right now it doesn't really... I wanted to see higher prices of the new week opening gap, paired with fair value gap, paired with the New York midnight level, continuation. Didn't look for the previous day's high. I looked for a simple 5 points. Close above the SPY side, which gave me more confidence that we might continue higher. Getting a retracement entry on the midnight level didn't play out. We initially kept holding in this 5-minute fair value gap, but then we started to close below and I got out immediately, also knowing it's 8:30 and we very likely going to continue into that direction. So instead of taking a full stop out, I saved myself from $100 of drawdown. Continued lower. Now we have 2 5-minute bearish fair value gaps right here paired with a breaker block. The breaker block can really be drawn like this, the lowest down closing candle, these two. So we have breaker block paired with fair value gap. Quite a few confluences. We didn't sweep that sell side just yet. At 9 AM we have news. It's not... Now it is 8:40, 8:43. This entry doesn't make sense to me. So minimum 5 handles to the sell side. That's where I would like to get in. Or breaker block. we have the New York midnight level to protect our stop. We have this bearish fair value gap. We have this breaker block. But yeah, I don't know. Could have just picked up some stops and continue higher. And Q reprice into that lowest fair value gap. Also with a structure shift. So if we get back up into the area, right here, this breaker block, target for me personally would then be the London session low, like this something. And take a micro position here, sell free up here, and then we could maybe add two in case we go higher inside of this last fair value gap right here. But therefore we need sort of a stronger push based on the market structure shift. We still have sell side liquidity that we have left behind. We have a breaker block, we have bearish fair value gaps. Our stop is protected by the new week opening gap and the New York midnight level. Target would take partials, of course, after 5 handles. And then let's see what's happening inside this last bullish fair value gap to maybe even clear the London session low. Good risk to reward. We have enough above us to protect our stop, which would for me be right here at this little high. And if we start to see strong invalidation, I would also simply cancel the trade. But yeah, this would be my idea for now. I'm quickly going to take a break. I'm not going to watch it the entirety of the time. At 9 AM we have some medium impact news. We will see how that plays out. So now I'm using a micro position right here because my stop would be a lot bigger, especially paired with the news. Usually I go for 5 handles, so now I'm using half my normal risk. Do I like this? And let's see. I'm gonna be back in like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm just gonna let it sit here. But before I go, we have this inversion fair value gap right here, paired with a bearish fair value gap. So we might not even have to reprice up higher to continue lower and take the sell side. We will see. I will be back before 9 AM, before that news candle hits. But I really have no interest in I'm gonna be streaming until 11 AM. So yeah, I saw this little opportunity with the NWOC and the New York midnight, which didn't play out. So yeah, let's see if I get filled on a potential short. If not, I'm simply going to cancel the order. Alright guys, I'm gonna be back very soon. Until then, I mean, just gonna watch the chart. Watch it for me. Hey guys, so I'm back. Maybe you saw the screen while I was gone. I quickly checked on my phone if we swept the sell side. Because we have already swept it, I deleted my limit orders here on MES. Not interested anymore. I wanted to see a proper pullback before we sweep that sell side. I mean, sort of, yeah, we retested this inversion fair value gap, which delivered lower. Right here, paired with the volume imbalance. Would have had almost delivered 5 handles by now. But risk to reward wise, not very attractive. So let's just keep on going. We check the 15-minute time frame again. So on the 15, not what we did here, we closed below the slow. I would immediately expect it to continue lower into at least this 15-minute bullish fair value gap. See if we hold support there. But I personally don't think we will. So it's 9 a.m. We have these news now. Medium impact, so not high impact. Only a orange shoulder. We can watch it on the 5. Right here, another little thing that we can see is that this fair value gap, we kept on holding 1, 2, 3 times here, delivered into buy side. And we started to close below it, and now we just retested it. And now, yeah, we used it to deliver lower. So I want to see what we do inside of this area, inside of this 15 5-minute bullish fair value gap. We also have a old new week opening gap down here if we go to the daily chart. So yeah, just gonna sit here, wait and watch and see if we get a new opportunity. Yes, but I think NQ will follow. 99% sure. This is internal SMT. I would give it less weight than external SMT. We're still inside today's range. We are inside yesterday's range. The best opportunities most of the time come once we sweep external, like right here. We swept the low of the day. We had our market structure shift. We have a fair value gap. We enter on that. And we see we continued higher for the rest of the morning session. Right here, or during London, we swept external monthly sell side liquidity. On the 1 minute, we had a break of structure, fair value gap, entry long, where yesterday I secured 5 handles. No, I don't listen to ICT Twitter spaces. I don't know, I don't like it. Of course, yeah, some good advice might be there every now and then, but yeah, most of it, I think it's bullshit. Like, he talked about his son's model, that he's only allowed to use micros, blah blah blah. Well, he's obviously not doing that. He's trading NQ on a 30 seconds chart with minis. Not sticking to that, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. But that's just me personally. Displacement. Yeah, no, nothing new. Say 5-minute time frame. Things not gonna change too often. Then we see these 9 a.m. medium impact news. That's why I usually disregard them. We had more moves during 8:45 and 8:30 without any news. Usually we should see that news impact immediately at the open, and it shouldn't take 10 or 15 minutes to like play out. That's why on Forex Factory, if I switch screens now, the people watching on YouTube won't see that. That's why I only have red folder filtered news right here for the US dollar, and the next red folder we have at 10 a.m. So 30 minutes after the New York Open. Very slow and steady, prices moving lower. We had this quick run, used the inversion fair value gap to continue lower, but yeah, no, not for me. My eyes are on external sell side, which would be the London session low. If we get down there, I don't think we will get a nice pullback entry. This would all be chasing the short, basically. I won't do that. And from here on, it's patience again. So if we head over and go to NQ, we see now we already swept the first sell side liquidity right here. I think it's a matter of minutes until we sweep this low. Right here on NQ, we had a opportunity with a bearish fair value gap that delivered into it. Let's see. And now the SMT divergence is gone. That's why I don't really consider internal SMT divergence as very important. Like if you entered long because you saw ES already swept that and then Q didn't, not good confluence. Yes, I am talking. I just unmuted my mic. Yep, I should be talking. Let's see. Can you hear me now, FL Trader? Or is the issue coming from my end? Where are these notifications coming from? No, ICT. I thought I unfollowed. Alright, unfollowed. I do not care about ICT's new tweets, blah blah blah, or any new models. It's not gonna be something groundbreaking. It stays the same. There's no... there should be audio. I can start the stream again here quickly. I don't know, maybe because I left for a little, but Discord is receiving audio. Let's see. Can you guys hear me now? I think so. Speak on stage. Start sharing my screen. And go live. Is it working now? It should be. Perfect. I thought, no, that's my other Twitter account. Unfollow. So now we're inside this 5 and 15 minute bullish fair value gap right here. After sweeping buy side in a premium, we go to the daily, looking pretty bearish so far. If we open up down here, we get a pretty big regular trading opening gap. Let's see. Yep, so here's where we closed yesterday. And if we are currently, we're somewhere down here. So let's see, let me mark this out. Electronic trading hours. So right here's yesterday's close. We have a unfilled new day opening gap. We have previous day's high buy side. We have all the inefficiencies from Asia untouched. "20 minutes until market open." So we're down here. We're gonna get a regular trading hours opening gap. Let's say from here, 30 points. So a pretty big regular trading hours opening gap. We still have to wait for 20 more minutes. The fact that we on the 15-minute time frame never closed above midnight, we swept buy side, yes, but we also never closed back above the new week opening gap, is a good confirmation. I anticipated a close above it. It could have worked out, but not every idea is playing out, and that's part of it. Yeah, and then we got out immediately right here, but yeah, that's just the thing. So I think sell side is going to be the next target. The question is, do you want to get in on that? Right here, if we look at just this little structure, we have a low, higher high, lower, higher low, higher high. So we would now also have a breaker block right here, or a mitigation block. We swept here. So we have lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. And yeah, from right here where we saw we closed below this bullish fair value gap, I closed the trade right here. Pretty obvious. I mean, yes, you could potentially reverse your position, but that's not what I like to do. I mean, the confirmation that we're at least going to go for this bullish fair value gap down here, if not even sweeping this internal buy side, came once we close below this 5-minute bullish fair value gap. Right here on this candle at 8.25, then 8.30, injection of liquidity. We continue lower, do not test the bearish fair value gap, but we only use the little volume imbalance right here. We see we never closed above it, paired with a inversion fair value gap. We close below it, use it as resistance to deliver lower. Then we use this little inversion fair value gap as resistance to continue the sell-off. And why do I look at this fair value gap and, let's say, for example, not at this one right here? It's simple. If you look at it, like, we never respected it. We've closed below it. We use it as resistance, deliver lower. We close back above it. This is not a fair value gap of importance to me. I hope that makes sense. I think it's pretty obvious why this fair value gap, if I say this fair value gap has been respected very well, we can like back up the claim. We reprice into it one time. Bullish engulfing candle out of this zone. One more time, and then we reprice into it even one more time right at 710. Then we use this area to deliver into our buy side target right here. From this area, we didn't do much. We barely did anything. That's why I don't look at it. So I'm interested. 15-minute candle is going to close also in 40 seconds. If we manage to close below, yeah, that's just a confirmation for the London lows to be taken. Let's see, we have 20 seconds left on the clock. Three, two, one, and we close inside. So at this point in time, on the 15-minute time frame, we still hold support. We could also consider this a balanced price range. We have a bearish fair value gap close above it, and yeah, right here you see these two fair value gaps overlap. That's what we call a balanced price range. We moved through it already, leaving behind a new bullish one. Then managed to close below it. Let me quickly check the hourly. On the hourly, we only have a wick. Hourly also failed to close above midnight, which is another good confirmation that, yeah, we're still bearish. 4-hour time frame, same story. The time is 9:15, or yeah, 9:15. And we're 15 minutes away from the New York Open and 45 minutes away from high impact news at 10. We will see what's happening until then. If we look at the 15, on the 15 we have our market structure shift. Let's say the obvious market structure shift. Let me get rid of this here quickly. Start fresh. This is our new week opening gap from the weekly chart. Right here, do you see this gap? That's what I'm referencing on the lower time frame. And what do we also see if we go to the weekly? We have a big weekly fair value gap right here. We already wicked inside of it. This is the current weekly candle. If we go to the daily, quickly turn off all these drawings. You can see we failed to, let's say, reprice into these bearish daily fair value gaps. We already swept the low of Friday the 18th of August, which was the low of the monthly candle right here, as we can see. And also, we're in a monthly bullish fair value gap. I talked about that in my weekly outlook. So if we look at the monthly chart, overall, my bias is bullish until, if I turn this on, all these little, hang on, let me quickly go into my object tree and turn off a few things. Yep. So if we look at this, we see that on the monthly chart, we have a bullish fair value gap right here. I can also pull up my monthly analysis. Right here, everything nice and neatly tucked away. So we swept the low of the monthly candle on August. Right now we're still pushing lower September. So September is going to close, the monthly candle is going to close by the end of this week. So on Friday we're going to decide where the monthly candle is going to close. We have the 50% level of this monthly bullish fair value gap. And if we look at price action, just very quickly, we're in a downtrend. That's obvious. We swept this low. Highest point between this low and this low would be this candle's high. We would see that more obvious on a weekly time frame. So right here we have our bullish market structure shift. This was the last move down. We close above. How do we close above? Leaving behind a inefficiency. And what do we do after sweeping external monthly buy side? Here we swept the high of the March monthly candle. We swept it, didn't close above it. So we move from external liquidity back into internal. We sweep it, and the next week or the next month immediately repriced into this monthly fair value gap. It's also the first monthly fair value gap throughout the entire year of 2023. during 2022, we had a tiny little fair value gap right here, but yeah, super small, hasn't been respected well. And yeah, since 2023, 9 months, almost, 9 months, we have this inefficiency here. And we can see that the consequent encouragement, the 50% level of this monthly fair value gap, perfectly aligns with our market structure shift level. And if we now drop it down to a daily, we can see that the 50% of our monthly fair value gap, this is the same line. So if I go back to the weekly or monthly, we have this bullish monthly fair value gap. Inside this bullish monthly fair value gap, we have a bullish weekly fair value gap right here. And if we now drop it down to the daily, we can see that the 50% of this monthly fair value gap perfectly aligns with our rollover gap, which is likely to be filled. I wanted to, in the weekly outlook, I mentioned that it would be cool if we get a pullback into these discounts right here on the daily chart to deliver lower. We didn't get that. We immediately swept the monthly sell side right here on Monday without news. We just dropped down there immediately during the London kill zone. So yeah, I still expect on the higher time frame lower prices. I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions regarding that higher time frame analysis, feel free to ask me. But yeah, as we can see, up closing candle, a pin bar candle. And today's candle, is that correct? Yeah, we have no wick to the upside. That's also pretty interesting. And another factor is that by the end of the week, so right here, Friday, we're also going to close a quarter, the third quarter of 2023. So we're gonna get a new cycle. And most of the time what's happening at the end of a quarter is that hedge fund managers, asset managers get their bonus checks based on their quarterly performance. And most of the time that leads to, let's say, for example, right here, quarter 2 of 2023, price pushed up higher. What happened at the end of the quarter? A last push, more profits, more bonus. I hope that makes sense. And yeah, so retracement into this rollover gap. We swap monthly sell side, or this is inside the monthly bullish fair value gap, the one I talked about already. As we can see, we're right at 349.5, which is that monthly low. So if we go back to our time frame right here, we see that we should be, we're still inside the bullish fair value gap right here. But I think we're gonna sweep the previous day's low. So far, everything today stayed internal, inside of yesterday's price range. So yeah, from a higher time frame, we would expect lower prices. We already went inside of the weekly bullish fair value gap. We have that 50% of the monthly fair value gap inside the weekly fair value gap. On the daily, we have this rollover gap right here. On the 1 hour, same story, rollover gap. All we do right now is consolidate before the next move lower, question mark. All these trend lines. So we can do some top-down analysis. We still have plenty of time until the open. We want to keep ourselves a little bit occupied. Let me get rid of some of these things that I do not need. Group 2, what's group 2? Monthly sell side, what's in here? Horizontal line. Which one? 4,300. This would be the target for me because that's the rollover gap. 4,300 for a lower price. It's only 50 points away. We could do that with news today. This would be the monthly sell side. I'm going to leave that on here. higher time frame power of 3 indicators. Clean up my object tree here quickly. Monthly analysis, let's turn that off. We do not need to see that. Oh well, we can leave it on. 50% of our monthly fair value gap. Won't hurt if we leave that on our chart. Higher time frame VWAPs, yearly quarters. Yep, that should be fine. So let's start from a hourly perspective. We have our previous day's high and previous day's low. The entire day so far spent time inside that range. So we're gonna annotate that here quickly. Previous day's high, previous day's low. London low. And here we have this little new day opening gap. We closed here, open up, down, up here. So let me drag this out. This is our new day opening gap. Starting fresh. What I also like to do is mark up my daily separators. I do it manually. So here, 6 p.m. new daily candle, and then right here, 6 p.m. that's Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Just going to start right here. And what else? This is our monthly fair value gap consequent encouragement at 4327. Previous day's low. What else would be interesting to grab from the 1 hour time frame? Yes, we could label this buy side, but I think everything that is important is already on our chart. We have this wick. We're already pushing below. If we look at today's entire range, prior to the beginning of the New York kill zone, we can see that we had a strong move to the downside pretty much until 3 a.m. During 3 a.m. we started to push back into where? Above the 50%. So we pushed back into a discount, cheap for shorts to continue lower. See, we never closed above that. And what else did we have exactly at this level? We closed here. We open up here. This is our new week opening gap. Let me drag this up here quickly. I'm going to label Friday's buy side. Is it? Yeah, Friday buy side. Friday high. This was our previous week's low. We already swapped that. Previous day's low. We can label this as well. And then we have a pretty clean chart with a good idea of what price is going to do. PDL, PVL. We swap that. We put that in the middle. All right, Monday. Can also use a vertical line for Friday. So this was Friday's price action, where we also swapped previous day's low. Immediately came back up, kept holding support on this Asia fair value gap, delivered up into a premium, basically into this order block right here, and continued lower. What's the time? It's 3:28. Oh, we only have 2 minutes left. That higher time frame analysis. I hope you guys liked it and sort of agree. There's not much to disagree about, but our new week opening gap, previous day's low. So now we drop it down to the 15. This is so far today's stealing range. We have all these lines are not shown on a lower time frame, so I'm quickly gonna select them. Then we go to the settings and change the visibility to minutes. We want to see that. So now we go to the 15. Back again quickly. Grab all these boxes as well. And also make them visible on the lower time frames. And that should be it. So now 15-minute time frame. Did we close? No, we didn't close below our last bullish fair value gap right here. But I think with market open, we should clear that liquidity. London session low. 25 seconds until market open. New week opening gap. Market opened up. New day opening gap. So now we did the entire top-down analysis together right here. Previous day's high, previous day's low, monthly sell-side liquidity, Friday's low, previous week's low. Yeah, I like that. All right, so on a 15-minute time frame, we closed below our lowest bullish fair value gap. Did we also close below it on the 5? Yes, we also closed below it. So now we want to see if we use this as resistance to deliver into London lows. We could, but it's not worth the risk. I mean, yes, we could enter on a inversion fair value gap, but not at the market open. It could potentially still play out, but it's only a 3.5 handle move. If we use the consequent encouragement, yes, that could work. I still expect that price is going lower, but that doesn't mean I'm taking an entry right at the open. I'm gonna wait. Remember, we also have news at 10 a.m. This time high impact news, so we can actually expect something. Let's see. We have our inversion fair value gap. We opened up with a 5-minute bearish volume imbalance. Right here we closed and opened up, retested the inversion for lower prices. We will find out. If we check the 1 minute, bearish fair value gap after leaving equal lows, retested that fair value gap. Here's our London sell side. Go back to the 5 minute. And if we clear the sell side, the last level that's holding us apart from the previous day's low, and where we are right now, previous day's low, this would be this last bullish fair value gap inside the London low. That's pretty much perfectly at 50%. Here's our previous day's low sell side liquidity. This is our current daily range. We can get rid of that for now. Keep it nice and clean. 5-minute time frame, bullish fair value gap, kept holding support once. We use this to pick up some stops from everyone that went short right here. We reprice into a discount, have a pretty strong sell-off. Now at the open we're down here. If we check the regular trading hours, we can now see this huge gap. So what I would expect is maybe the London low or the previous day's low to be swept, to look for a Judas swing to the downside and a reversal back up to fill parts of this new day opening gap. But I'm not sure if I will get what I'm asking for today. Alright, so far no big move. First 5-minute candle is about to close, last minute left. Quickly take a peek at NQ. NQ also delivered lower. Let's see if we also sweep London session low. Gonna add an alert here. I'm not gonna watch it all the time. So now we get a move to the upside. Interesting. New week opening gap. Regular trading hours opening gap would be all the way up here. Crazy. Previous day's high. Let me also annotate the 8:30 open. Now we have everything super clear on our chart. Perfect analysis. And let's see if we can use that to frame a trade. We have the New York midnight level. We have our new week opening gap. Inside, top. Yep. So we failed to sweep the London low so far. If we look on the 1 minute time frame, swept some internal. Theoretically a market structure shift. But I won't participate until we sweep something because we also have news at 10 a.m. If we would have swept this low, external, I'd look for a potential long entry. But since we didn't sweep it, I'm happy just waiting for a good opportunity. No rush. Previous day's low. I think we look pretty good. And usually what I do then is I use all these levels inside my object tree on this little button here on Trading View. Then I click on Create a Group. I'm calling it my short-term analysis. And now I have everything. Why is this disabled? There we go. Now I have everything in one group, and if I want to turn off and just look at naked price action, I can also do that without having to delete everything. And I can also store it in here, like for example a monthly analysis, and if I want to look at it, I can simply enable and disable it. So let's check the hourly time frame. On the hourly, not much information here. On the 15, where do we have fair value gaps? A 15-minute fair value gap right here. We have a tiny little one right here as well. And we could frame this as our breaker block on the 15. Lowest down closing candle, low, high, higher low, higher high, lower low. So this would be our breaker block, paired with a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. Not worth an entry to me personally at the New York Open, especially with such a RTH gap. Buy side liquidity taken. So we see we tapped the breaker block paired with this bearish fair value gap. Let's see what this looks like on the 5-minute time frame. On the 5-minute, we could refine our breaker block to even this lowest candle. We do not have a new bearish fair value gap here, only on the 15. But we can see that this 15-minute fair value gap perfectly overlaps with this 5-minute. So right here, high low, perfectly aligned with the 15-minute. So we're gonna keep this on our chart. We have our breaker block. Not worth an entry to me. Why? Because the New York Open is tough. We could use micros here, yes, and enter off the breaker block, but stop loss wise, I would have to give it plenty of room. So let's see, we filled that 15-minute. We touched the breaker. We might use this already to deliver lower and sort of have a little fake pump to the upside before we clear London sell side. But right now, this is just me sharing my thoughts and nothing I would use to place a trade with. We did the entire top-down analysis. Let's find out 15-minute time frame. I'm going to be watching this until we sweep some external liquidity. But here we see we use this discount from this price leg paired with our breaker block. All right, let's see. Go back to the stream. Just checked a few messages. Let's see. We still continue to push up. Take a quick look at NQ if we see any difference also on the 15. We didn't sweep. We're still inside this 15-minute bullish fair value gap with our previous day's low down here. So far, signaling indecision. The 15-minute candle is going to close in 1 minute. So let's wait and see how this 15-minute candle is going to close. So we see during that last minute of the 15 and 5-minute candle, we seem to be getting a strong push back above this fair value gap. We close below it. Looks like we're not going to use it as resistance. As of right now, we still have 30 seconds on the clock. 5 minutes, 1 minute. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Alright, so we see we closed back above the inversion. We kept holding resistance on this bearish fair value gap. But a rather strong push up. So if we check the 5-minute now, we do not have any structure to work with here, really. 10-minute, also no fair value gap other than this one. You see this fair value gap, why it is standing out so much. We have a 10-minute, 15-minute, same fair value gap, high, low, perfectly aligned. 5-minute, high, low, paired with equal high buy side. Looking pretty interesting to me. If we check the 1 minute, we have two 1-minute fair value gaps right in here. All right. Just looking through a few things here on Discord. Nothing I want to participate in yet, but we see we keep on holding resistance here. We knocked on the door of the fair value gap, rechecked it, filled it in or repriced it in perfectly. Remember, we have this breaker block right here. Entry could have looked something like this, but I don't like that we have so much room to the upside. I don't like to take these trades. Not even a 1-to-1 risk reward. I know you could place your stop something like this, but no, I don't do that. So let's see if we sweep external and then maybe get a opportunity. Ten minutes, 5 minutes. Pum, pum, pum. Bearish candle, 3 minute. 2 minutes. 1 minute. Clear high, shift structure. Mixed open so far. Remember, we have news at 10 a.m. I'm gonna annotate that with a vertical line here. And also keep in mind that we have 10 a.m. news. So I'm going to stay out of the market until here. And at 10 a.m., what else do we have at 10 a.m.? A new 4-hour candle opening. And if we look at the current 4-hour candle, it's going to close in 10 minutes, the same time when we will receive our news. We can see it's the 2 a.m. London, bearish 4-hour candle. New York, likely bearish 4-hour candle. Oh, tough call. Tough call. We get that rejection from the area where we wanted to see it. We just saw a 5-minute volume imbalance, which should now push prices lower. Perfect short. Did someone take it just out of curiosity? I said that I'm not going to take it. I didn't. Otherwise, you would have seen me do so. But we perfectly used breaker block paired with inefficiency to deliver into sell side. And here goes the sell-off. So we cleared the London session low. Here we have our previous day's low sell side. Perfect delivery. So let's see, 8 minutes to go on this 15-minute candle. NQ took yesterday's sell side. Yep. I would say unconfirmed SMT. We might still get it. 10 a.m. news candle. Bump, bump. Should right back up. But yes. NQ swept the low. We swept the London session low here on ES. So if we drop down to the 5. Bump. Volume imbalance. Delivered. Aggressive entry. Almost hit 5 handles. Let's see, we have our previous day's low all the way over here to the right. $9:30 open and 7 minutes left. Oh yeah, 7 minutes left until we have news. Let's see if we get a good setup during that time. London low swept. We still have that previous day's low. 1 minute left for this 5-minute candle. If we check the 1 minute time frame, other than this volume imbalance also, well, we had a little fair value gap here. Let's see if we're gonna deliver into yesterday's low. 30 seconds to do. Little rejection. This is our 5-minute bullish fair value gap down here. Kept holding support before. Let's see if we can close inside, above or below. 15 seconds to go until that decision is made. Then we only have 5 minutes left until news at 10 a.m. We close inside. Good question. Very good question. Judas or continuation lower? I can give you the answer in 1 hour. I'm just kidding, but yeah, it's tough to say if we're gonna get a run on stops and reverse back in. We will see if we get a nice setup, but right now, maybe even with SMT divergence right now, yeah, couldn't say. We could even look at this little pump up as our tiny little Judas into our 15-minute breakup plus bearish fair value gap. We delivered price very efficiently, filled this little gap, and continued lower. Not trusting anything yet, so yeah, waiting until 10, maybe even 10:15 might be the best thing. Sit on your hands and do nothing. I mean, we had the opportunity. Take the shot of the breaker block. I just didn't like the risk to reward ratio. This would have been the entry. We would have had minimal drawdown, but you don't know it for sure. And at the open, with news at 10 a.m., yeah, I'm just more careful. Would have already secured 10 handles, 1.5 risk reward. Yeah. Good opportunity, but not necessary to take. For me at least. Let's check 1 minute here quickly. Going sideways prior to the news. Two more minutes now. Yeah, 2 more minutes until news. Last minute of this 15-minute candle, 1 hour candle, 4-hour candle. So yeah, 10 a.m. every day is a very important time and price. And Q already cleared the low. If we quickly take a look at it, we already swept that low. We are below it. Yes, that not yet. So last 10 seconds before the news hit. Let's see if we accelerate with these news into the previous day's low. 2, 1, bump. New 4-hour candle opening, new 1-hour candle opening, new 15-minute candle, new 10, new 5. Everything that's easily divided by 5. We have bearish fair value gaps that we could potentially use to deliver into the previous day's low. But same reasoning why I didn't go in on this 15-minute breaker block. It's 9:30. Won't do that. But on a 15-minute, we close below the London low. On a 1-hour, we close below the London low. On a 4-hour, we also close below the low of this previous 4-hour candle. We do not leave behind a fair value gap on the 4-hour. We potentially leave behind a fair value gap here on the 1-hour. We're starting to get a push back up. 30-minute, 15-minute. We have this little order block here where we could potentially see resistance. But same story. We're already super close to the previous day's low. Not even a proper one-to-one risk reward. Let's go to the 5. We could use fair value gaps to deliver lower, but I'm gonna wait a little until at least this 5-minute news candle is closed on a 1-minute time frame. Same story, 3-minute time frame. Nice 3-minute bearish fair value gap. So we see most of the things overlapping, but I try not to engage before we hit the previous day's low. Oh, this time. 2.5 minutes to go. Let's keep watching on a 15. Makes it easier to watch. And we keep the bigger picture in mind. If we look at the 1 minute right now, like, it would be super easy for us to potentially get triggered into a, oh shit, I'm missing out trade and all that stuff. So keep our eyes on the bigger picture, the entire weekly range so far. Previous day's high, previous day's low. Friday's high, we already swept previous Friday's low, previous week's low. Monthly sell side. Is it going to be turnaround Tuesday? Tuesday? Maybe. Maybe it's going to be turnaround Thursday. And also feel free to share your ideas if you see something that could play out or that you maybe take. Feel free to share it. I mean, we can discuss it together. And there goes the previous day's low. Normally, yeah. But what's normal with trading? You expect that here Best thing you can do, have your bigger picture, your higher time frame in play. Most of the time, maybe just watch the higher time frame until you find a good enough reason to engage with price now. So now that we have swept external liquidity, it might be a good point in time for us to go to the lower time frame and potentially look for a reversal model. We have swept external. We have a big regular trading hours opening gap. We can see that. We only filled it in partially. So maybe this could be our Judas down, and that's now back with higher time frame analysis. So now if we potentially go down to the 5 minute, we see that on the 5 minute we already closed below yesterday's low. We have a singular fair value gap here, potentially. Let's check the 1 minute and see what the 1 minute chart is doing here. Sweep, sweep. And once we sweep, what do we get? Push up. They even have stickers. Our market structure shift on the 1 minute. You could look at this high. It's a short-term high. I mean, we had a low, lower low, a lower high to the left, lower high to the right, or this one right here. But we want to keep in mind that we have a 5 minute inversion fair value gap here now, which kept holding support yesterday and today during London. But yeah, once we closed below, we immediately got that push back up. So we could be looking at this as a potential order block on the 1 minute time frame. We have our higher time frame narrative, but it doesn't mean that we're going to jump the gun and enter. Just have the micro chart open already. I'm not gonna trade minis after market open. It's just too volatile. Maybe if you have a 150k account with Apex or Take Profit Trader or Topstep, yes, then you can use minis on AS. Everyone's different perception of risk. What's appropriate for a, let's say, 50k account for me during London and from 8 AM, yeah, it's fine. We don't usually move that much, so a 5 handle stop is most of the time enough. But if we say, for example, we would get in on the order block, that's already a 5-point move, this singular 1 minute candle, and that's 250 bucks, 0.5% of a 50k account. Doesn't work for me. Right, we have MES ready. Let's see, right now we're going sort of sideways. If we look at 50% of this little order block, inside bar so far. Inside bar. If we look at candle bodies. 3-minute time frame. 2-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame. We only have this inversion fair value gap. 3-minute, 2-minute, 1 minute. Volume imbalance below the 50%. If we look for the daily, where the next sell side would potentially reside. 43.27. 50% of the monthly fair value gap. We talked about this in our little higher time frame analysis that we did prior to the market open. And yeah, around 4327, and then to fill the rollover gap, we should potentially get back to a round number level, 4300. So right now we swept the previous day's low. We either just gonna continue this overall very bearish candle for the day. We open up, not even a single tick to the upside. We can confirm that if we look on the 5-minute time frame. Maybe one tick. Nope, we opened up. Market woke up bearish today, basically. Woke up, opened up with a new day opening gap, and decided, nah, no ticks to the upside. We open up, and we immediately sell off 30 points during Asia. We consolidate into, midnight. At 2 a.m., what do we have? We have a sell-off to clear some internal sell side. Okay, most of the market is very likely short right now. So what we're going to do, we quickly pump it up. I was lucky enough to catch a long from down here. Sweep buy side and discount if we look at the entire daily range. Discount, sweep buy side and discount, continue lower, shift structure. Not really giving a good entry opportunity. Oops, didn't want to do that. Let me get rid of this PD array. No real good entry other than this breaker block on the 15 paired with the bearish fair value gap. So 2.5 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to close. Let's wait for the 15 to close and see if we close below the previous day's low on the 15 as well. But we can see prices right now like pressing the brakes. 2 minutes. And even if we do not engage anymore today, that would be fine with me. 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute. So we swept the low one more time. Back-to-back volume imbalances. Like we said, the next target would be 4300 and then 4327. That would be the beginning of that new day opening gap. Let me quickly go to the daily. Visibility on the minutes. Yes, so if we go back to the minutes now. Potential target, 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute. We keep on going lower. And we might just continue to go lower throughout the entire New York session. 50 seconds to go on that 15-minute candle. Pretty bearish close. And we close below the 5-minute. Fair value gap right here. Retested it. Continued lower. So now for the first time since yeah, we pretty much created this rollover gap. We're gonna touch it slow. So if we quickly go to the daily, that's the rollover gap. And we are essentially 3 points, not even 3 points away from trading into it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we close. 4,300, 4,327 would be targets to the downside. Did anyone jump in short? Being patient, not looking for anything. 5 minute. If we leave behind a 5 minute bearish fair value gap, maybe we could see a yeah, no setups to go short other than this 15 minute breaker block. Swap buy side, low is low, displacement, bearish fair value gap, breaker block, continuation lower. But yeah, a high risk entry in my opinion. Right at the 9:30 open. No good setup. I agree. So let's see. We hit the low of the 9th of June, where we switched contracts, rollover gap. It's pretty rare to have no wick to the upside on a bearish daily down closing candle. If we look at it, look at every down closing black candle here on this chart. Every single candle had at least one tick to the upside, like right here, pretty close, but we had a little wick to the upside. Little wick, little wick. It's very rare to see not a single tick to the upside. We open up, like that. Decided to be bearish today. Very rare. Nope. Nope. Not a single bearish. Here, close, but we had one tick to the upside. Yeah, no chance. First time pretty much this year where we had a daily candle without a wick to the upside. Maybe it's not going to stay that or remain this way, but and we are at, okay, we just swept this level, so we are below this. We're inside the rollover gap now. What I was talking about is if we look on a higher time frame, let me get rid of my grab all these things, put them into short-term analysis, and hide it very quickly. If we look at the entire quarterly range, so 2023 open up, first quarter, and towards the end of the quarter, we always get a one-sided move. I heard someone, it's not official, it's just something I heard that kind of makes sense, is that hedge fund managers or asset managers, whoever basically, they get bonus checks at the end of each quarter, which most of the time leads to a quick rally before the end of the quarter, because that means they make more profit, which means bigger bonus. And we might get this because it's the end of quarter 3. By the end of this week, we're going to close a monthly candle on Friday, a weekly candle, daily candle, of course, and also the quarter. It doesn't happen that many times throughout the year, And yeah, we can see this little tendency towards like here Tuesday, last trading week, Monday, we had this little push up. Monday, right here, that last push up. Right here, yeah, okay. Doesn't work for the new year. It's December. Not many people work around between the 24th and the 1st of January. New Year's, family, blah, blah, blah. It's a reason for this little, I don't know, I can't 100% say it's correct. I just heard someone else talking about it and it sort of made sense why we get these rallies towards the end of each quarter. Bonus checks, blah, blah, blah. Jewish high holidays. Yeah, seasonality wise, I already talked about all this on my higher time frame outlook. If we look at this entire thing, and I also pull up the COT report of large speculators, what we see here basically is that they're starting to decrease in net shorts, so they're building a long position pretty much since June. Now we get a retracement. We see large speculators, they went from a all-time low since 2012, so they've been net short for a very long time. So now they're decreasing that position. Maybe that means we could go long. And like I said, we have this market structure shift here on the monthly. Lower low, cleared to 2021 yearly low. Market structure shift. And then for the first time on the monthly chart, what do we leave behind? A monthly bullish fair value gap. We're right now perfectly on that 50% level. And yeah, Halloween effect. Freshkey told me about that. It's usually what we get. So if this fair value gap holds, seasonality wise, we made a high during June, July. Oftentimes during August, September we get a pullback. We could see some consolidation during October and a rally towards the end of the year. Pre-election year, blah, blah, blah. Halloween effect. I don't know anything about Jewish high holidays, but it's, September seasonality. Bearish month. We put a high in place during June, July. We cleared monthly buy side. Right here, I drew this up 100 times already now on the stream. We're inside this monthly bullish fair value gap. If we check the weekly, we see that same thing. Weekly bullish fair value gap. Here we have a little new day opening gap on the weekly chart. New week opening gap. Sorry. Or rollover gap. Daily chart. We're starting to see something around this level, so let me actually go to the lower time frame. 1 minute. Yeah, no potential for a 2022 model. I mean, look how we, each candle right here made a lower low and a lower high. Starting from here. Yeah. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Blah, 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 blah. And now that's shifting. We made a lower low. And now for the first time we made a higher high with the wick. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Maybe. We have this 5 minute bearish fair value gap. That's in the middle of my attention. And let me turn on my drawings again. Short-term analysis. Yep, there we go. Yeah. I know here it's really 50-50. The only opportunity for a long that we could really frame, even on the 1 minute, unless we make a lower low and shift structure then, yes, then we could see a potential reversal based on the 2022 model or head and shoulders. If we look at the 5, we have this pretty big bearish fair value gap right here. Do we have a new 15-minute? No, not yet. We gotta close the 15-minute candle in the next 5 minutes. Also a pretty big bearish fair value gap. We still have that pretty big regular trading hours opening gap that we might not even fill. When we also left this one behind, we opened up, we just continued selling off. This was last week, yeah. We do get that sometimes. We do not always have to fill the opening gap on that same day. Well, a little bit annoyed that I didn't have enough self-confidence in taking this New York Open short from the 15-minute breaker plus bearish fair value gap. But it is what it is. I mean, I can't go back in time. I can only improve on that in the future. We exactly outlined this level, breaker block, bearish fair value gap. We saw price push into it, hesitate, bearish engulfing. Then we close below this 5-minute bullish fair value gap that kept holding supporting price yesterday and during the London kill zone. We closed below it. What do? We retest it right here at 10.05. Continue lower. So order flow right now on every single time frame is bearish. So looking for longs until you get decent confirmation that order flow might turn around. Then the best decision you could make is continue to look for shorts. Alright, let's see. We're starting to get a pretty nice push to the upside. Let's see, 15-minute candle is going to close in 1 minute. If we go to the 1-minute time frame, we had no breaks in structure. There's no structure for us to use to the left. Now we had a break in structure right here. We already priced in this little bullish fair value gap. 15-minute candle is going to close as a bullish pin bar likely. So now we have a 15-minute bearish fair value gap and a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. Here we would have the opportunity for a potential long with a break-off structure, but I don't like it because we didn't have a single confirmation that we're going to go low. It would be a very early anticipatory entry. We have this 15-minute bearish fair value gap that's overlapping with parts of this 5-minute fair value gap. So right here we have the high of the 5-minute fair value gap. I'm gonna drag that out. And for the 15-minute bearish fair value gap, the high would be right here. $10 minutes. Also a 10-minute bearish fair value gap right here. So nice overlapping confluence for continuation sells. 5-minute, we're inside this area now perfectly. Stop loss is too big for minis. This would be a good entry opportunity short. We're still in bearish order flow. We had a tiny little break in structure on the one. This doesn't mean we're gonna get a reversal here. It could, but doesn't mean that. We're standing in front of a train. Order flow is bearish. On no other time frame other than the 1 minute, we had a break in structure. Let's see, let's wait and see. We still have, roughly 30 minutes until the end of the AM session and the SilverBullet hour. We have a bearish value gap right here now. Wouldn't be surprised if we just consolidate here for a little range, not doing that much. But let's see what we can work with. So we closed above this, ignored it here on the 1 minute, left behind a bearish fair value gap. If we close above the bearish, coming out of this bullish fair value gap, I might take a little micro long, but I wait for this confirmation. This would confirm bullish order flow to me more than this little break in structure. "15-minute bearish fair value gap, 10-minute bearish fair value gap, 5-minute bearish fair value gap, multi-time frame, fair value gap, bearish. Entire day has been bearish so far. Yes, eventually we're gonna get a reversal, that's right. Definitely, 100% sure we're gonna get it. But I'm not sure if we're gonna get it right now. We will see. We will see. So if we disregard this bearish fair value gap, would be a sign for me that we're in bullish order flow. I could be looking for a micro entry long, because right now we are respecting bullish fair value gaps. We started respecting the first one right here on the 1 minute time frame, of course. There's not much to say if everything else on the higher time frame is bearish. So we kept holding support here on our first bullish fair value gap. This placed higher, had a little break in structure. Now we're still holding this bullish fair value gap. We do not have one right here, but we open right at the low of it. So let's see. For confirmation for bullish order flow, what we would want with a reversal, yeah, we would like to see at least a break in structure, price respecting a fair value gap. Of course, you could already anticipate this 1 minute fair value gap to hold, but if you have all this structure to the left, the higher time frame stuff, you want to see confirmation, which, yeah, we might be getting. So now we're inside this bearish fair value gap. Let's see if we respect bearish discounts or bearish fair value gaps. If we push above it, I would be interested in a pullback continuation long. Trade idea would look something like this. Stop below here, target 5 handles, let's see if we can get this confirmation. Close right at the high, open with a bearish volume imbalance. So right now, no confirmation that we close above it. So we have to wait 1 more minute. And we can be patient, it's fine. We close above it. Let's see if it plays out. I enter off the inversion, have my stop below this low. Let's see if we even get filled. We have to see that first.
Order filled.
Alright, we got filled with 5 micros. Let's see, this is now a inversion fair value gap. Let's say 1 minute. Keep in mind this is the higher time frame. Just testing if this works. If this doesn't work, I'm not really interested in continuing today. Maybe for shorts, but 5 handles with 5 micros, that should be 125 if we had our take profit. See if we have something on a higher time frame that we could target. Previous day slow would be right here at this level. I'm gonna scale out since I have the luxury to do so. So I'm gonna get out with 3 contracts right here. And the rest I might be holding maybe until... Oh, that played out well. So this was a order flow entry. I outlined it. You saw it execute. So you saw me executing it live on stream. Let's see if we can hit our 5 handle target. But yeah, I outlined why I wanted to see bullish order flow. Yeah, first confirmation, but not confirmation enough for me. Confirmation came for me once we kept respecting this bullish inefficiency, this bullish fair value gap. We left behind a bearish fair value gap, and I wanted to see the confirmation that we disrespect bearish fair value gaps. We closed above it, retested, I entered on the inversion fair value gap, and my first target is going to be 5 points. We are still inside that 15-minute bearish fair value gap, so keep that in mind. It's a counter trend trade at this point in time. Will we get 5 points? We will see. I'm going to trail my stop to this short-term low. 15-minute candle is about to close. So we get a new 15-minute candle, which took our first partial. We're still in with 2 micros. My stop's gonna go to break even. So let's make the next partial at. So we already hit the high of this bearish fair value gap. So one more here. Make sure to be paid. And now I need to screw it. Trader weight orders working. Ah, there we go. Only 1 unit. Gonna stay in with 1 micro. MES. Oh, that played out nicely. Let's see what happened on the 5-minute time frame. We closed above this 5-minute bearish fair value gap. Get rid of some lines, they're kind of distracting. And here we got the lower time frame confirmation for bullish order flow, which led to this quick 8-point move. Let's see, we're already starting to get a rejection. Keep in mind, we just repriced this entire 15-minute bearish fair value gap. Bullish fair value gap right here. If we see them fail, that's confirmation for, yeah, that we might just have repriced into a discount on a higher time frame. Let's see. My stop's already at break even. If we fail to hold these, I think we want to see short-term lows to be taken. Keep in mind, this is our 15-minute time frame. We just hit the inversion fair value gap here on the 5-minute. One more time. We filled in this entire 15-minute bearish fair value gap right here. So we just took a mini quick scalp counter trend. It's still counter trend. We have no confirmation for bullish order flow on a lower time frame, on the 15-minute. On the 5-minute, we sort of do. We closed above this bearish fair value gap right here. Kind of a confirmation for bullish order flow. We disrespect bearish fair value gaps. We kept on holding. Let's see. My stop's at break even. I secured 4 out of 5 contracts. If I get stopped out break even, I'm fine with it. Got a perfect entry here. Patient enough. Can't really complain. Ah. Bearish volume imbalance. Let's say risk-free trade. I'm gonna keep on sticking to it. But now, see, we start to leave behind bearish fair value gaps. We open with a bearish volume imbalance. Signs for bearish order flow now on the 1-minute. If we go to our higher time frame, we filled in this 15-minute bearish fair value gap. Likely gonna get stopped out. If we close below, I might be able to secure a fraction. Nah. Nah, nice, able. Got out with 125. But you see, bearish volume imbalance, that's signs for bearish order flow. On the 15, keep in mind we repriced this bearish fair value gap. Yes, we could still go up higher. I would have been stopped out at break even anyway. This way I save myself here a little. There's no point in, like, yeah, watching price pump up, dump down like this and still hoping, oh yeah, it could go back up again. It might do that, but if you didn't manage to scale out right here, it's a quick counter trend 1 minute scalp. Get signs for bearish order flow. Next bearish volume imbalance. So let's see what we do here on a 5-minute time frame. What's the time? It's 10:50, so we're in the macro now. We could do a quick run for sell side. We have some sort of trend line liquidity resting right here. We already broke below it. Imagine how many people jumped in long here that are still in long, maybe over leveraged. Trying to get out. And by trying to get out, they sell. If they are long, they have to sell to get out, which accelerates this move to the downside even more. Next bearish volume imbalance. Right here. I'm just going to be watching. Hang on, guys. 1 second. All right. Got some work to do, so I'm likely gonna end the stream here. I'd look for a sell side, to be honest. New hourly candle, 11 a.m. opening up. We have enough confirmation for bearish order flow, but this doesn't mean I suggest an entry. None of this is financial advice. You guys know the drill. Nice, clean entry. All right, guys. I think it won't get better. I stopped trading after 11 a.m. anyway. Might look at the PM session, maybe. Higher time frame trend is definitely bearish. I mean, all you have to do is take a look at the 15-minute candle is going to close in 5 minutes. Right now, the 1 minute's looking like it's going to do a head and shoulder. Could also go up, I could be wrong. But yeah, like right here, we had this initial first confirmation for bullish order flow, break in structure, second confirmation. Okay, we start to put bullish fair value gaps in place, and we start to disrespect bearish fair value gaps here to the left. Okay, that's the next sign. Alright, but before I blindly jump in here, I want to see confirmation because, yeah, like I said, we had a 15-minute, 10-minute, and 5-minute bearish fair value gap right here. I wanted to see if we can invalidate the only bearish fair value gap we've put in place recently. And we did right here at 10:40. We got our pullback on the next candle. That's why I got my entry. Retraced a little bit deeper into the inversion. Then we secured 3 out of 5 contracts right here for a 5-handle profit target. And the other ones we got out somewhere on this candle for 7.5. The other one was stopped out 2 ticks in profit. Yeah, I think it won't get better today. I mean, the only other nice trade opportunity here on the 1 minute, but this is 1 minute scalping. It's tough. Like right here at the 9:30 open, I mean, we had this 15-minute structure. If we would have used this for higher time frame confluence, if we drop down to the 1 minute. So we ran buy side, we're inside of our 15-minute breaker block, 15-minute bearish fair value gap. We go lower. We displace, so right here, we cleared a short-term high. We have a displacement, market structure shift, close below. Next candle, push back up. What does it do? Immediate rebalance. We continue lower, open up with a bearish volume imbalance, and here comes the crucial part. We have equal lows right here. We have our previous, we have London sell side below us. We have previous day's low sell side below us. So pretty good confluence. And then note how the next candle opened up. Volume imbalance. This would have been the prime aggressive entry. Already 5 handles. Of course, it's 1 minute time frame scalping. Ah, shit. I'm still on mute. Sorry, guys. Well, I wasn't muted on YouTube, but thanks for the heads up. All I said is the only good trade setup, I think in my opinion, came from the higher time frame confluence here. We had this London low, London sell side, previous day low, sell side below us. We outlined this breaker block paired with the bearish fair value gap live, but on a 5-15 minute time frame, you don't see enough confirmation to jump in short in here. But if we drop down to the 1, what we can see is that we cleared short-term high. Sorry, someone outside is chopping down the tree. We shift market structure right here. This candle pushes price back up, so we do not leave behind a bearish fair value gap. We deliver price efficiently. We open up with a gap to the downside. We continue lower. Open up with a bearish volume imbalance. We fill it, continue lower to clear this 9:30 low right here, 9:30 equal lows, and immediately run through the London sell side. This would have been a nice opportunity short after the market structure shift paired with the higher time frame confluence. On the 1 minute time frame, it might have not been super clean, because you need that higher time frame confluence, and we got it, we watched it. I just don't like executing on the 1 minute on stream at the New York Open. I don't know, I just can't. Second bearish volume imbalance, but we closed it in. Now what do we leave behind? Bearish fair value gap. We still have previous day's low sell side and the crosshair. We fill the bearish fair value gap. Let's see. So in the trade, we go sideways because we have 10 a.m. news. 9:58, 9:59, 10 a.m. Now 9:59. We get that last push up. Cleared a short-term high right here. Open with a gap down, and then we make our run towards previous day's low, which would have been my final take profit target. This is not easy to do on the 1 minute, not at all. I mean, you look at the 5, you look at the 15. We have 5 minute entry. Well, sort of, yeah. we could have gotten in, but it's news. And that's another thing why it's... I think we're making a short setup right now. Let me check. I have to get going. I have to help my dad. Let's see, 15-minute time frame. Well, we already got in. Long right here, secured 8 points. Rest stopped out at break even. We could be forming a short setup. It could continue higher. Let me take a look at the image. Oh, you took the same entry. Almost the same entry. Nice. Partial break even. Could be a short setup. I don't know. It's past 11 AM. We're still inside of that macro. This is a new hourly opening. Could be a short setup, but I think this long right here, I mean, you took that same entry off that bullish fair value gap right here on this candle. The next entry happened on this candle. It's good enough. I wouldn't, if you already took this trade, yeah, wouldn't feel... You don't have to continue to trade, or just take a little break, go away from your charts, and then think again if you feel like you have to take another trade. Most of the time, once you step away, you're like happy. I close the day in profit. You come back to the chart tomorrow with a different mindset. Because you didn't lose today, you made profit. And now trying, yeah, of course, you could risk partials of your profits. I don't know, I wouldn't do it. I have to get going now anyway. Could go long, could go short. You always have these two options, but I don't think it's a 90-10 opportunity. We have equal lows. Of course, yeah, I don't know. Could be both. Wait for PM. Come back with a clear mind and see how PM trades. Yesterday PM session was pretty nice, so yeah, we will see. All right, guys, that's it for today's live stream. Thanks very much for sitting in here with me. I hope you also had a nice little New York AM session. I had a initial loss right at 825 all the way up here, where I tried to... Let me go over here, 5-minute time frame, where I tried to take a long of this bullish fair value gap to continue higher into discount. Didn't play out. I cut my risk very early on, right here before 8:30. We continued lower. We spotted the breaker block, 15-minute fair value gap, but yeah, on this higher time frame, it's hard to take an entry. We could have done it with micros, to be honest. I also have to improve. Also on stream, it's not that simple, but I'm pretty happy that I caught this long move. Very nice. What's happening now? I could care less, honestly. It's past 11 AM, my trading time window. I'm checking out from work, and that's gonna be it. All right, guys, thanks very much. If you have any other questions regarding fair value gaps or ICT concepts, then feel free to ask me on Discord. That's what it's there for. And until then, I will let everyone know if I'm going to stream tomorrow, or if I'm doing a session for myself. We will see. I let everyone know. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Take care. Trade safe. Don't give away your profits. Think about tomorrow. Bye.